Hello owners and welcome to the first update for the new year. 2023 has arrived and CEO Ben Mannion joins us. It's been a huge start to the year. Happy New Year, Ben, and what a start it's been. A successful Magic Millions sales and racing carnival.
Yeah, and Happy New Year to you, Adam, and all our listeners and viewers, members particularly. So, what a couple of months it's been, particularly over the Christmas period and Magic Millions period, just coming up for air, both of us at the moment. So it's been pretty hectic, but been really fantastic to engage with both people interstate and also throughout the state of Queensland as well, who all come down to the sales and to the race days. And we've got a number of new members that have joined, so we welcome them. And over the next couple of months, we'll be doing another membership push out there. So stay tuned.
Yeah, welcome to the new members, and good also to see a few of those maroon cards doing the rounds on Magic Millions Day, which was of course the rescheduled Magic Millions Day. A bit of drama involved there, but well done to the Gold Coast Turf Club and everyone involved to turn things around for take two. And the maroon cards are out in force.
Yeah, we saw a number of people that have opened their members pack, so the hats are out, and I saw a number of pins as well at the race day, and the owners cards as well. So if you haven't got your owners card yet, get in contact with us, and we can sort that out through one of our memberships. But really good to see them out, and a number of people coming to talk to us at the sales as well through our coffee morning that we had. And our AGM on the Wednesday morning, which we'll no doubt talk about soon.
Yeah, well, let's talk about it. In amongst the busy period, we're already at the back end of January, but in amongst the busy Magic Millions sales and racing carnival, you had the AGM, and we've welcomed a new committee member to the fray.
Yeah, so, like any first year organisation, we want to make sure we get a really good committee together that can help us drive a number of initiatives out there. And it's great that we've got our committee members that have come on, including a new one in Justine Opperman, who has a background in sales as well around race clubs. So she'll be a great addition, and a couple of returning committee members as well. We got a number of things through the AGM, including a new constitution and new membership structures as well. So. Which is great, and hopefully soon a new website, Adam, hopefully around the corner. So we'll have a number of initiatives in that website as well. So looking forward to that, and great for everyone that came to the AGM.
Yep, new year, so new website's on its way, and stay tuned for that in the coming weeks.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about, we're almost rolling into February, and February 1 marks a big occasion because prize money increases across the board in Queensland.
Yeah, so a lot of the work that we had done the back end of last year, and the work that Racing Queensland had done with their announcements are coming to fruition on February 1st with the point of consumption tax. So looking forward to seeing those increases all across the board, all across the state, come into play, and including the significant increase in the Metro prize monies. And of course we will continue to monitor North Queensland, Central Queensland, Regional Queensland, their prize money increases. We've still got a bit of work to do in that space over time, working with Racing Queensland. But at the moment, looking forward to seeing that windfall, let's call it, come in and coming back to participants, which is great.
Yeah, no doubt they'll be well received. I was doing the maths on the Qtoa fillies bonus.
Yep.
That now goes up for a Saturday Metro for 2 and 3 odd fillies to over 85,000. So unbelievable. So I'm sure those prize money increases will be well received.
And it's the one thing through the sales that people continue to talk about to me, particularly, and I know to Basil as well, Basil Nolan, is just how great Qtoa is, and how great it's going to be, both at this sale and going into the March Qtoa sale as well. Just the opportunity around racing, particularly fillies, in metro areas, and the money that's on offer. So, well done to everyone Racing Queensland with that, and now with the changes to Qtoa, it doesn't cost to register. All horses that are born through the state, obviously, up for Qtoa. So that's fantastic and a great initiative.
Yeah. Well, speaking of prize money, let's talk about what's been happening on the track. I guess it's been a huge month. We've already mentioned Magic Millions, but it all started with, since our last update, the inaugural running of the King of the Mountain up at Toowoomba, and that seems like that was a big hit.
Yeah, I love race clubs and people within the industry that take a risk and show some initiative, and again, well done to Lizzie and her committee up there in making sure that King of the Mountain went off. I think prize money or turnover on the night was really good for that particular race meet. We got Yellow Brick over the line. Alpine Edge sort of ran second, and obviously that was a great run for that horse to sort of lead into the Magic Millions win. So well done to those connections. I think we have a committee member that's in those ownership silk, so well done to those guys as well. So King of the Mountain was really well received, and I think it'll go to the last Saturday of the year now, as opposed to New Year's Eve. So looking forward to seeing that. And obviously there was a number of really significant lead-in races in Brisbane at the time as well on that particular last day of the month, as well as leading into Magic Millions, the Wave and Magic Millions. So some great lead-up runs, particularly around the Bruce McLaughlin and the other 2-year-old races that sort of led to finding the winner of the 2-year-old.
Yeah, that's right, and some great scenes there also, wasn't there? You know, obviously there's lots of mention in around the sales, and of course every year on Magic Millions Day with the Women in Racing bonus, but great to see some happy ladies who not only took out the big one, but got the women's bonus too.
Yeah, so I was speaking to Black Soil Bloodstock just before the races, and there was a number of really nervous people within that group, but they also were confident in the horse and confident in the work that Tony had done as well with Skirt the Law, and so congratulations to those guys, and onwards and upwards to the Golden Slipper I was reading yesterday. So well done to everyone, and particularly all those owners that held horses racing throughout the period. So we also saw the announcement during the month of the new Magic Million schedule, so night racing's included, and a number of other races as well, including a slot race in 2025. So some great initiatives there, and if you've got a horse running within that period of the Wave through to Magic Millions, it's such a fun time to be involved in racing, and we encourage more people to get out there and get involved.
Yep, no, it was a great carnival, and as you say, it's only going to go from strength to strength. Speaking of night racing, we're coming to you from the Gold Coast Turf Club, out on the track. There's lots going on already, post Magic Millions, with the redevelopment of the new track and redeveloping the course proper, and exciting times ahead.
Well, there's people everywhere, no doubt about that, and they started tearing up the turf this week, which is a massive time for the club, everyone involved, and so be out of action for 6 to 9 months, I think it is, 9 months. So the polytrack will get its first run. We'll probably coming to you prior to it going out, the newsletter going out, but polytrack will get its first run on the 28th, I think it is. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. All the trainers down here are giving a thumbs up at the moment, particularly from a training perspective, so looking forward to that. Good luck to Steve Lyons and all his team around that first polytrack session and race day, and then we'll see where we go from there. But plenty of racing coming up as well across the state, so looking forward to seeing that over the next couple of weeks.
Yep, very good. Yeah, exciting times ahead for the Gold Coast Turf Club. Let's talk about some of the things that you've been working on behind the scenes, I guess, and you've had some meetings with Qtoa and sort of both organisations discussing about working a lot closer together and helping educate owners.
Yeah, so for some time now we've been sort of advocating on behalf of owners that they need to be more included in decision making, whether that be through prize money with Racing Queensland or decisions around things with Racing Queensland. The next phase that we're talking to the Commissioner Shane Gillard and Deputy Commissioner Natalie Connor on is how owners can be more engaged or more involved, particularly if the horse that they own has issues, and that could be anything from a race day swab to something in relation to stewards. So we're still working out the actual process and the procedures around what that looks like, but I must say they're really engaging at the moment, both of the Commissioner and Deputy Commissioner, and we're finding it a lot easier to work with Qtoa, and there's been significant turnover at Qtoa, and there's some really good people gone in there, so we're continuing to liaise with those guys, but we want to be front and centre with those negotiations with them in finding ways to make it better for owners to to understand why some of these decisions are made over time. So some are going to take some time, and some they can't directly come straight out with. But we're giving them a number of scenarios that we'd like both Qtoa and owners to be more engaged, and they're open to that at the moment. And it'll take a bit of time, but it's work in progress. I'm really comfortable with where we're at with that.
Yep, sounds like a very good initiative. Can only help both organisations and enhance the lines of communication and education.
100%. Yep.
All right, well, it's a new year. We've all got New Year's resolutions, whether they're personal or whatnot. Let's go through the Qtoa's top 5, Mannion's top 5, I guess, the vision for the new year and what you'd like to achieve with the Qtoa.
So this is obviously on the back of last year's committee, and we've got a somewhat new committee, and I've still got to push some of this information across them, but it's all relevant to what we've been doing over the last sort of 12 months, and we really want to get a head start now, going into 2023. The new prize money's coming in, new POCs out there. There's a lot of movement in the WSP or waging service provider market. We've got a number of great partners obviously on board as well with CrossBet and all of our newsletter partners. So there's lots that we can do, and first and foremost is membership growth. So we've set a solid platform for what we can do. We were involved in the ownership ticketing distribution around Magic Millions, and that's allowed us to sort of engage a lot more with owners, and I think we can do a lot more with race clubs in that space, and including taking some initiative around how we can engage with owners on race days. So I think that's first and foremost. We want to do a lot more in that space, and we want to look at ways that we can get owners to join up to the association and be involved. We don't have everyone's data, which is one of the challenges. So even if you signed up as a social member or an entry-level member at the moment, it allows us to talk to you more often and more quickly if we need to talk to you. So if you can get onto our website, if you're watching this, you can get onto our website and choose the appropriate membership for you. If you want an owner's card as well, the full members one there for $99 gets you an owner's card and all the owner's packs that comes with it. So we'll be doing a really big push over that over the next 3 months, and trying to get as many people on, as well as syndicators. So they're such a big part of the industry, and we want to work on ways. We've got a new membership structure, which is an organisation membership, which covers off syndicates, and we want to get as many of those on as we can as well.
Yeah, so I guess the moral of the story is a larger membership base gives more of a voice to the Qtoa. So you're continuing to grow that.
Yeah, so I've just done some numbers over Christmas. We've got just on 750 odd members in different categories. They've got shares in over 4,115 horses. Now, all of those horses may not race in Queensland. They might race in other areas, but it's a significant amount of ownership, effectively. And we want to hear from more people, whether you've got a percent in 1% or you've got 50 horses. It's all the same. You get one vote. So we want to hear from as many people as we can. We want as many owners as we can sign up, and that's our first initiative going into 2023.
All right, communication, that's the next one, and that's, we've already mentioned, teased a new website's on its way, but also just enhancing the communication with newsletters and regular updates for Qtoa members.
Yeah, so the newsletters was the first step for us in the first 12 months. The next phase is to be a bit more interactive across our social media, so that if people have questions, we can be a bit more reactive. So going into this year, we want to be a bit more active in the whole social media space, and the website, which Adam has done a wonderful job with, will allow us to be a bit more proactive in relation to articles and news stories and things like that. So it's we want it to be a one-stop shop for all owners, and that's the next phase, or number 2 in our top 5.
Number 2 in the top 5. Then we move on to I guess the funding scenario, securing annual funding, and continuing to grow that aspect through commercial partnerships and whatnot.
Yeah, so when we started in August 21, we never knew where we'd get to, and membership obviously is one category that we drive revenue streams from, but also sponsorship in our newsletter, and also we get some funding as well, to help with some of the things that we do around initiatives around state government and Racing Queensland. It's all minimal funding. It's a self-funding independent organisation, and we want to try and focus on getting some long-term secured funding, annual funding for the organisation to make sure we keep advocating and doing all the right things for owners. So that's number 3 in our group, and we'll keep pushing and advocating on behalf of owners where we can.
Yeah, well, that's the next one, isn't it? Advocacy, and that's obviously a key part of what the Qtoa does.
Yeah, so obviously the prize money one is what everyone's sort of focused on over the last few months. But the work that we've done with what we call a Thoroughbred Alliance, which is the trainers, jockeys, owners and breeders, that group we've done some really good work with and come together with Racing Queensland and Qtoa for that matter, and talk to them about where we'd like to see things moving forward. We've been able to get some things across the line with that group as well. So led by Cam Partington from the Trainers Association. Cam and I speak regularly, and we've been able to get some really good initiatives across to Racing Queensland and had some wins, some short wins. But then things like the Off the Track program and the opportunity around events moving forward. So not just race days, but some other areas we might like to get more people involved and have some guest speakers and some different dinners and lunches and stuff like that. That's one of the opportunities. So yeah, that's number 4.
Yeah, and that ties into relevance and inclusion. As you mentioned, there's been lots of hard work from yourself and the board to get the Qtoa where it is as far as inclusion on some of those boards and having a voice, and that continues to build.
And we go back to the top, which you talked about, Adam, which was, we need numbers. To have relevance, we really need numbers, and we need as many members and voices we can possibly have to represent the whole of the ownership industry. So from that perspective, it doesn't matter where you live across the state, we want you to sign up, and the more people we have, the more opportunities that we believe that we can create for owners. And as I've always talked about, it's never been a better time to be an owner within horse racing, and over the next 12 months, that relevance inclusive, we've been added to a number of groups, and we work with a number of groups through 2022. We want to be included in those groups again through Racing Queensland, and talk to the race clubs and find ways that we can offer better race day experiences. So relevance and inclusion rounds out the top 5, and they're the sorts of things that we'll be focusing on 23.
Okay, well, lots to get through. It's going to be a huge year, no doubt, and it's already been a huge start to the year, and that'll continue throughout 2023.
Yeah, very much so.
All right, well, that's about wraps us up. Anything else you want to add before we say farewell?
Just if anyone has any questions or they want to get in contact with us, just to send us an email at ceo@qtoa.com.au, and look out for that new website that hopefully is out in the next few weeks, and hopefully be a bit more interactive. And if you've got people that want to join up, or people that may want to join up, make sure you tell them, and we can get them out their owners cards as soon as we can.
Very good. Well, there's lots of activity going on here, as we mentioned, at the Gold Coast Surf Club with the redevelopment. So we'll sign off, and thanks for watching, and we'll be in touch.